All right, great. So we are also doing the YouTube live stream here, so you can see inside the office. So it should be live here anytime now. Oh, okay. So can you guys see the feed? Doesn't seem like it's popping up here yet. 2, 1. So you guys can, in the Discord chat here, can you guys actually see me yet? Okay. Is the YouTube stream up? Okay, yeah. If you guys can see the live stream, welcome everybody to the third DigiByte Roundtable. If you haven't joined us before, you can actually type some questions into the YouTube live feed chat, or you can actually join us on Discord. Discord's kind of cool. It's a new app that's out, but you can actually join via voice chat if you would like to. So what we'll do is I will basically just show you some of the latest stuff we've been working on, and then after that I'll do some explanations and then answer any questions anybody has. So to start off with, the first thing that I would like to show you is, here we have DigiByte version 4.13.0. So this is the latest DigiByte wallet. We have not officially released it yet. We are still doing testing. But as you can see here, we've actually been able to send and receive multiple transactions. So if anybody would like to actually send a couple, okay, so no audio on YouTube. Let me see the control center here if that's working. No audio on YouTube. Can anybody hear me on YouTube? In my control panel here, it actually says I'm not live streaming. Or wait, it says it's popped up now. In my control panel here, it actually says I'm not live. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear now. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So yeah, if you guys, if anybody would like to send like 1 or 2 DigiBytes to this address, just to prove that we actually really do have a live 4.13 wallet here, I'll post the address in both chats, and you guys can watch it come through live. And then if somebody actually wanted to post an address in one of the chats, I would love to send them some DigiBytes from this wallet. So while that's happening, basically, I'd like to talk a little bit about what is going into the protocol changes behind version 4.13. So basically, there's a boatload of changes that are occurring. One of the first things you'll notice down here in the lower right-hand corner is a little HD. And what that means is the core wallets that you download will actually now be deterministic. So what does that mean in plain English? The way the current wallet works, if you are to make a backup, your backup out of the gate is only good for about 100 addresses. So if you're using a new address every time you receive DigiBytes, basically you're good. Your backup's good for 100, and after 100, your backup is actually not correct because of the way that the private keys determine addresses. So with 4.13, that's changed. So once you make a backup of your wallet, it's actually good for basically an unlimited amount of wallets. So, or I mean of transactions and addresses. So, what else has gone into these changes? There's actually been several things. Some things we've talked about in the past, but just to summarize for those who don't know, one of the biggest ones is headers first synchronization. So thanks to, I believe it was Ghosty that actually helped us time how long the existing wallet takes to sync. Because as you know, DigiByte in the chain has over 4 million blocks. So we're one of the longest blockchains out there. And because of that, it takes almost a full day for the wallet to actually fully synchronize. With version 4.13, if you download it fresh, within 30 minutes, you're able to basically sync with all the headers in the blockchain. And within 3 hours, you're able to have a full sync with the entire chain. So this is very important, especially for new people that download a DigiByte wallet and get started. And as you know, one of the downsides of a blockchain is, data is constantly being added and it has to be stored and kept for security purposes indefinitely. So that's one of the big changes. Pruning, and then also change away from OpenSSL into the libsec 256 validation library for some of the cryptography. So basically, simplified version of that, it basically means it's able to validate a lot of transactions and a lot of other things much quicker. The other big thing that we're excited about is we want to make sure 4.13 works with the Raspberry Pi. So we can get more nodes out there. Okay, so like I said, if anybody wanted to send a transaction, I posted the address, or if anybody wanted to post their address, I'd love to send them some DigiBytes live during the feed here. Now, I was hoping to get this wallet out to some of you for testing. However, we're still having some compilation errors with the Windows wallet and others. I was hoping to get through those today, but we still haven't. So we should get that, here in the next week or two. But I would love to get everyone to help us test the mining part of these upgrades here over the course of the next week or two. Because I don't know if some of you have followed some of the other developments with some of the other coins out there. I won't mention any by name, but they've attempted some same upgrades and they've ran into some issues. And we want to make sure that we don't hard fork ourselves or we don't cause any unnecessary grief during the process, because there are a lot of changes that are going into this upgrade. Okay, so let's see some of the questions. I know here in the last few weeks, a lot of people have obviously been asking about the price of DigiByte. The thing is, Bitcoin is on a bull run right now. I mean, it just hit an all-time high again a few hours ago. And for those of you that are new to the cryptocurrency community, or cryptocurrency trading in general, the one thing that I've noticed over the last 5 years is every time Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go down. And then as soon as Bitcoin stabilizes, altcoins start going back up again. And as stated time and time again, we are not here to try and artificially pump DigiByte up. We're not intentionally trying to keep it down. We don't even trade. I mean, obviously, that's important. It's an issue that a lot of you obviously care about. But as we've stated before, we are in this for the long haul, and we are focused on providing real-world applications and solutions with DigiByte and getting real-world use cases. Which brings us to the update on our next project. As we mentioned before, we are focused on DigiSign. We've taken all of our basically energy and focused internally, and that's what we're working on. And we're very close to coming out with some more updates and some more news, and we have some exciting use cases that are in the works. So with that, is there any more specific questions? I know I had a list here on Telegram. And for those that are new to this live stream, I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to welcome you to the DigiByte community. Feel free to join us on the official Telegram chat or on the Discord chat. I think the link is posted on the YouTube live stream. Oh, looks like we've got some addresses here. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'm going to send 500 DigiBytes. So as you can see here in the wallet, there's some different options. There's actually a little timer that asks you, are you sure? It's like a 3, 2, 1 timer. And by the way, this address was posted on the YouTube chat. So we got 3 different chats opening up here, and I just saw that one. Oh, we got a couple more. So I'll go ahead and send it. This time. Boost that. Looks like we still need to actually tweak a few things here. There will be some fee changes. So it looks like right here the first transaction got picked up. So whoever was, yeah. So there you can see 4.13 is synced with the network and it is sending transactions. So, okay. So any other questions? Like I said, this wallet, we would like to get your guys' help with the mining portion over here over the next week or so. And then we'll distribute some test versions of the wallet to make sure, you know, because we want to give it as thorough of testing as possible before we officially release it. And like I said, there's a lot of things that have gone into this version of the wallet. It's setting DigiByte up to be much faster in multiple ways. And then when we do release that, we'll release some more technical details on what's all gone into it. Yeah, with that, like I said, I'm checking here to see if you guys have any questions. Once again, thank you all for being here. Let's see, it's 1:41 a.m. here in Hong Kong, so it's a little bit past the middle of the night, but this seems to be, is this a good time to do these roundtables for you guys versus a few hours later like we've done the last 2 times? Received. Okay, cool. So is this wallet with SegWit? Currently, in this particular test version we have right now, we do not have SegWit activated. However, we will be testing through that here in the next week or 2. And my thought is at the moment that we should go ahead and do, oh, let me send the other person here some. We would like to activate it. SegWit has a lot of interesting features that I think are going to be very important down the road for not only scalability but also security of transactions and security of the network as a whole. You know, it has a few more implications, you know, even for the Bitcoin network besides just simple, you know, increasing the number of transactions. So we want to test through it. Make sure it's a good fit for DigiByte, but it's looking like we will probably end up activating SegWit at some point over the next you know, few months. What are your guys' thoughts on SegWit? Does anybody have any? I know some other coins have had some issues, so yeah, Tweebit, thanks for the offer for helping us with the mining wallet. We definitely could use all the help we could get with the mining. Because essentially we have to start the network over from scratch and almost set it separately. What are the plans for marketing? So currently, like I stated, we've basically been focused, tucked away, doing development work. Now, as soon as we get some of our test cases finished, we're preparing the data, we're preparing the information as we speak. We're going to have some solid marketing materials to take, you know, public and to take to some bigger companies and basically say, hey, we're actually, you know, really doing something that can help secure some good stuff. So that's our plan at the moment. We are working on materials. We are focusing on use cases and actually gathering data from some of those tests and systems using using some of the systems like we've talked about before with DigiSign, using the blockchain for 2-factor authentication, DigiID, securing contracts, documents, etc. So we will be coming out with some more of that here in the next few weeks. However, at the moment, like I said, we're split two ways: DigiSign and then also the core protocol upgrades. Because like I said, currently a DigiByte wallet takes about 24 hours if somebody downloads it from scratch to sync. So that is an issue. And since we have such a fast blockchain, we also have a long blockchain. I believe Bitcoin's at block 300 and some thousand. We're over 4 million. As for gaming, we are still maintaining the gaming website. However, we're currently not doing any updates with it. So the system should be paying out for playing. Should be paying out for League of Legends. We did have some issues with CSGOs. There's actually some security vulnerabilities with the game itself that we haven't been able to figure out as we speak. So we suspended CSGO for the time being. Let's see. Any other questions I can answer? Once again, thank you all for being here, and then thank you for the offer to help with the testing of the wallet. Yeah. As far as Coinbase, I think we should wait until we have some real data and use cases. I mean, from the conversations I've had, basically, if Coinbase was to add Litecoin, more than likely they would start adding other coins as well too. I know currently it doesn't seem like I know they're open to the idea. I know they're thinking about it, but once we have a solid use case, I feel it's going to be a lot easier to get a lot more attention on some of these bigger exchanges. So that's currently kind of what we're doing. Like I said, we've just been tucked away, focused on working on these development updates. It's taken a little bit longer than we initially expected. Yeah. Any other questions I can answer from anybody? You guys should have received those transactions. It looks like they've gone through. The people that added that on there on the YouTube live chat. And if anyone here is new, go to digibyte.co and download your first wallet. The easiest wallet to get started with is actually the DigiByte gaming wallet because it doesn't require that initial synchronization with the blockchain. If you guys see some points and some things we've already got that you feel we should really highlight, I would love input on how you think we could market some of those things, whether that be a series of tweets, if somebody wanted to write them out, like specifically, drawing attention to this, or the next thing. If somebody wanted to do some sort of graphics to promote it, if somebody wants to help write out some content, I'll be the first to admit I'm not the best writer. I have had a lot of people tell me I should do more blog posts. However, I think doing a video blog for me personally is a little bit easier. Yeah, how are things with Microsoft Azure? Very good. Microsoft has been an excellent partner. They have, like I said, we're still working on the Azure platform. They've helped us, introduced us to people in the marketplace, and they've been very supportive of us and blockchain technology overall. So, we're very, very happy with what they've done. And then actually, as a developer, working with the Azure platform, and actually here recently with Windows 10, they actually have a command line interface where you can basically, it's almost like working on Ubuntu, so it's pretty handy. So yeah, it's going well. Any other questions I can answer? Yeah, so the plan for the coming months is, we've yet to take DigiSign public, and we've been putting together, like I said, a real world use case, and we're getting ready to implement and execute that and test that and gather some data. And then basically go out and show people, hey, this really does work. You can use a blockchain to secure, real world contracts. So I bought a lot of DigiBytes during the first year, but haven't touched my wallet since. Any concern with using the latest wallet client? So this wallet I actually had on my desktop here, I upgraded and synced with my old wallet, and there was no issues. Once again, it's one of those things we're going to make sure we're going to test everything thoroughly, send and receive large amounts, test backups, test old backups, test newer backups, because we want to make sure there are no issues once we get the wallet out in the wild. Because this DigiByte is now a 3-year-old network, and then there's a lot of individuals out there who basically haven't touched their wallet since the beginning. So we're going to definitely make sure everything is backwards compatible. So you don't have to worry about losing DigiBytes. And as always, make sure you're backed up. Your wallet is backed up in at least 3 different locations, preferably 3 physical different locations. Will DigiByte do cross-blockchain transfers, and how will it be incorporated? So cross-blockchain transfers are a very interesting idea. In fact, myself and one of the other DigiByte developers back in 2014 originally approached the idea. At the time, I think we were talking about trying to implement it and do it with Dogecoin. Currently, if somebody knows of a successful implementation, I would love to hear about it. But to my knowledge, there's a lot of difficulties. It requires both coins to basically mutually set themselves up for cross-chain transfers. So the next 6 months, I don't see it likely. The next year to 2, it's definitely a possibility. I know it's something, I think the first reference I read about, was 2012, people were trying that. Okay, will DigiByte hold on to its mascot? Isn't it time to bring DigiByte to mature audiences? So I assume you're referring to the Digiman. If you go to the main website, I actually don't think he's on there anywhere. If you look in the wallet, I think he's on the loading screen. I don't really think we've overused the Digiman. I don't know. I mean, I think that's something we should put up to a vote of the community. I don't really see the reason to abandon him just yet, but I don't really think he's being overused. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Digiman? Okay. Has there any new dialogue on current algorithms that are set for DigiByte? I know you're thinking of possibly switching one out. Currently in this release 4.13, we're not swapping any of the mining algorithms out yet. I really haven't seen any data necessitating changing and swapping one out. If somebody has some more information or a likely candidate they think would work, I think at this point, if you look here recently, the news came out that the SHA-1 algorithm was broken. The only way that really affects us is actually just simple commits to the repository on GitHub. So the actual code itself is not altered by that. However, I do know there is, an amazing amount of energy going into studying quantum computing worldwide by both governments and private companies alike. And chances are, before maybe the year, 2030, 2035, I think we'll see some significant advancements in quantum computing and quantum cryptography, at which point we would have to replace basically all the cryptographic algorithms in DigiByte. So that's something to be aware of, something to watch. But I would love to hear more miners' opinions if they're mining any other algorithms out there. Okay, so I got a few more questions here. The marketing one, we kind of already went over the mascot one. Is there a reason why cool stuff like in-wallet 2FA and others are not promoted? What's the bigger picture? There's no reason, there's no intentional, we're not trying to keep DigiByte down. I mean, we would love it to grow as much as possible, but at the same time, we're not trying to go out and artificially induce a pump. We could use all the help promoting these technologies and implementing them. One of the biggest things is we would love more developers to take some of this stuff. It's open sourced, it's in the repositories, and implement it. Let's see. Okay, on the side of being a developer, what is your feel on the state of the industry? Where do you think we're heading? Um, okay, so overall, the blockchain industry, from my perspective, the things I'm seeing, the people I'm talking to, the people I'm interacting with, 2017 is going to be a huge year. Huge year. It feels like big companies, actual institutions, are taking it serious. It feels like every larger company has to have a blockchain strategy in 2017. However, on the flip side, I feel like there's a lot of misinformation, and I feel like there's a lot of misinformed individuals in some of these organizations that aren't fully aware of everything that's happening. And obviously, as many of you know, this can be a very confusing industry, especially to a new observer. But the one thing's for sure, blockchain technology is here to stay. The other thing that I'm seeing is you have basically two approaches to blockchain technology at the moment. You have the original Bitcoin-based, what's referred to as the UTXO cryptocurrency set, which DigiByte is based on that. And that's sort of the original framework of Bitcoin, a rigid, structured, secure blockchain. And then you have the Ethereum VM, kind of flexible, a lot of possibilities, but at the same time, with those possibilities, a lot of security vulnerabilities arise. So the most proven and effective and trusted model is the UTXO model of Bitcoin and DigiByte, Litecoin, Dogecoin, those type of cryptocurrencies and blockchains. So I do find a lot of these bigger companies are basically realizing that the UTXO, Bitcoin DigiByte system is the more secure version, and that the only way to truly keep it secure like that is if it's a public blockchain. Because if you privatize it, you lose a lot of the security assets and benefits that come from the public chain. There's a report that was put out last fall by Credit Suisse Bank. It's like 120 pages. And they're kind of the first big financial institution that I've come across that went from going after that, we want to have a private blockchain, to actually, public blockchains are actually the more secure, true blockchains. And as far as when I refer to UTXO, when you think of a blockchain like DigiByte or Bitcoin, you have essentially 4 different types of data in that chain. You have the raw data that's actually communicated at the protocol level back and forth. You have the blocks, the full blocks with all the transactions. And then you have an index of the transactions. And then you have what's known as the UTXO set, which the UTXO set is essentially where all the digibytes on the network are at a specific moment in time. So for instance, the Android wallet is what they know as a light wallet, the SPV wallet. So it essentially just downloads the UTXO set. Now, in order to validate the UTXO set, you need the rest of the blockchain, and that's where the rest of the chain gets downloaded. So that's what I mean when I refer to as UTXO. It's the unspent outputs, basically who holds what digibytes and where, or who holds what Bitcoin and where. Any other questions I can add? Discord link is expired. Oh, invite links expire 30 minutes by default. Put another link here. Once again, this will be on YouTube. So, okay. Are there possible partnerships on DigiSign open to spreading the word about DGB? Absolutely. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to get as many partners as possible using DigiSign. So, and like I said, we want to make sure it's ready to go, and there's not going to be any issues when we roll this out in a commercial sense. Asking questions on YouTube, okay? Let's see. Is there an expected release date for 4.13? Obviously we're already testing it, we're already doing it. However, before we officially release it, I want to make sure, we're 100% confident there's not going to be any issues. Right now, the biggest concern is we just want to test mining, so actual block generation with the new system, because it's actually changing the way headers and blocks are sent on the network. So it's actually a different structure. So we want to make sure there's no issues with how they're generated. So are you confident with Ethereum smart contract company being on the DigiByte? How do you feel about other big volume coins doing this hype and marketing? You know, the whole term smart contracts is, you know, it's kind of open. There's several different definitions out there. To me, when I hear the term smart contract, I think what a lot of people mean is they want a way to securely do business through a blockchain where data is transferred back and forth in a secure fashion. And I feel that the possibilities with DigiByte and also Bitcoin offer a more rigid, secure form of smart contracts than what is currently being done with Ethereum. You know, I'm not saying I'm anti-Ethereum. I think there's some great ideas and some great possibilities. However, I feel the maturity and the security of the project, you know, given recent events over the last half a year or so, you know, I think it has a ways to go. So they're obviously working on it. There's a lot of enthusiasm behind the project, but I feel we're fitting a slightly different niche. You know, our approach is like, how can we take what we have today and combine it with real world business needs and bring them together for something that we can execute and implement right now. And that's what we feel DigiSign is and will be. Is there any new scaling projections for transactions per second? You know, currently we haven't actually ran some numbers, and that's something we should do. So I'm going to make a note of that to see what kind of statistics we can have. I mean, the biggest one, like I can say right now, is we've reduced the initial synchronization time from around, I think Ghosty said it took them 17 hours to, you know, less than 3 hours. So I think that's a very big improvement. And then also, once all the networks are actually you know, all the wallets are running the updated network, there's actually going to be a lot more efficiency, just even in like the libsec 256 validation of the cryptography going back and forth. So, let's see. Any other questions we've got going on here? Let me go back to the other chat. And once again, yeah, thank you for the offers for help. So, yeah, currently, okay, resources internally. Currently, everybody that's working on the project is basically developers. We do plan on growing the team, but we want to basically start getting some success here with the initial DigiSign release. So that's kind of our current focus with our current assets and our current team. But yeah, absolutely, we would like growing the team. You know, one of the things we wanted to do in 2017 is we wanted to get more open source projects with people using DigiByte for other you know, ideas and things. So yeah, as time and assets permit, we definitely would like to continue growing things. Yeah, currently we do not have a full-time marketing person. We basically are focusing all our assets on developing. However, that is on the part of the plan now. Any more questions? DigiByte Gaming payout should be working currently. Every once in a while, we have to top the wallet off, so that's sometimes why it said the payouts are pending. Any other questions? I think we're coming up on about 30 minutes here, so as a developer, what incentivizes me to develop DigiByte assets beyond the market turning up doing certain things? You know, I think that's a personal question for everybody to answer. You know, if you believe in the project and the potential and the incentives being the scalability and security that DigiByte offers, I mean, to me, I think that's the biggest thing. The speed of the transactions and the decentralization of mining. And like I said, the crowdfunding platform, Digis for Commits, you know, we want developers to be able to crowdfund their own project with DigiBytes from the community. So I know there's people in the community that are willing to do that. So that's kind of the cool part about DigiByte being a currency as well too. Any other questions? Yeah, there's a couple upcoming conferences. There's one in Macau that I'll be attending in March. And then I've been invited to a few others. However, the logistics of going to some of them, especially if they're in Europe or other countries, are just you know, not possible at the moment. So for those that are new that didn't catch up, here is the version 4.13 wallet. We've sent some transactions from it. There's been several upgrades. This video will be hosted on YouTube. It should be automatically recorded after we're done here. So if anybody wants to go back and check it out, you can do that. So any other questions before I sign off? I think we're going on 40 minutes here. I was going to try and keep it around 30 minutes so I don't start rambling. But we will do this again in a couple weeks. One question for everybody here, is this a good time of day versus last time? I think we did it about 4 hours later last time. Any several upgrades? Yes, 4.13 is full of a ton of different upgrades. One of the big things that's important for everybody to recognize is, I'll just mention this again real quick, is deterministic wallets. So if you notice in the lower right hand corner it says HD on the wallet that should be on screen. Basically what that means is it's a deterministic wallet. So currently, your current DigiByte wallet, if you have a backup and you use more than 100 addresses to receive your DigiBytes, on the 101st address, your wallet actually isn't valid. So you want to make sure to keep backing it up or increase the key pool size when you first generate it. With version 4.13, it gets rid of that problem. So basically, once you make a backup, it's good indefinitely with all the addresses that are coming from there. We have the headers for synchronization, block pruning. We have a change from OpenSSL to libsec 256, which is much faster validation of transactions in the network. Yeah, there's several. There'll be a release of the technical details when we do it. But yeah, there's dozens of changes that have gone into it. And once again, this will not require a hard fork. So that's kind of the cool part. So yeah, if this is a good time, we can plan on doing this. I think this is a little easier for me as well. So yeah, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Like I said, this will be recorded and you can rewatch it on YouTube. So yeah, the commits are on a public repo. They're actually on the DigiByte team GitHub. So if you search DigiByte team, DigiByte 4.13, you can check it out. And we're actually having some compilation bugs if you wanted to get involved and help us troubleshoot with like the Windows wallet, Minge. It's a lovely system they have for Windows, for C++. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would love to see that as well too. I mean, that's kind of what Digis for Commits was supposed to be, an independent platform. Yeah. So, any more questions? If not, I'll shut it down. And once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and for supporting DigiByte. Without you guys, the community, DigiByte wouldn't be anything. So, we're here. We're working hard. We're doing the best we can. Yeah. Don't hesitate to reach out in the Telegram chat or, you know, tweet. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So, oh yeah, and DigiByte as well. You can actually contribute to projects on there as well. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.